when they find all the driver's body.
She used to scare the crap out. Today on the Manspace. Welcome to the Manspace podcast. We're your hosts, Doctors Matt Brown and Rob Porter, and clinical therapist Mike Porter. Welcome, Spacemen. I wonder if I think I talked through that at the beginning. That used to scare the crap out of me when I was a kid.
It's funny. My sister sent it to me, and I sent her this picture because I was like,
I used to pause it on her face.
Yeah.
Oh, Marge sent
that's
you.
what ours look like. All the freaking
it's funny.
Snow lines across the face.
Have you watched Wednesday on Netflix?
Are there 2 seasons?
Yeah.
I think I saw like a little bit of the first one because my daughters got into it, but
me and my wife are totally into it. It's like super campy, but it's Tim Burton, so like the characters, like some of the like demon characters he makes, it's like that looks like Large Marge from Pee Wee. Big old eyeballs.
I thought I saw something that Tim Burton died.
I don't think so. Robert Redford died.
Yeah. And Jane Fonda can't stop crying.
That sounds like the name of a Fall Out Boy song. Robert Redford died and Jane Fonda can't stop crying.
I saw a headline. She was like, I just can't stop. But maybe I don't even have any idea what their association was.
Me neither. Were they married? Mike would tell us. Mike's not here, everybody.
Mike is hacking up a lung.
Jane Fonda, Robert Redford. She can't stop crying over the passing of former co-star. That's it. Well, I mean,
former co-star.
He was 90, 89 or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. I watched this brief thing about Paul Newman and how he befriended Robert Redford and made him somebody with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And he was a rising star and Paul Newman was a fading star. It's very sad.
Have you seen that movie? Can't remember the name. It's Robert Redford and I can't remember this guy's name. Like I remember him from Blue Chips way back in the day. He's got a really gravelly voice. Nick Nolte.
That was so like anticlimactic. You arrived at Nick Nolte. And it was like, I can't remember Nick Nolte.
Just came to me, but it's
Nick
like
Nolte, Robert Redford.
It's a weird pairing. They were like friends back in the day, I think, but I can't remember if Robert Redford goes to like a funeral and then he's realizes that he's not living his life. So he lives like right on the Appalachian Trail. So he's like, I'm just going to go hike it, for however many miles. And then this friend who's like, his life is totally falling apart. Nick Nolte's character comes and hikes with him. But I was like, I guess I've never seen a movie. Like Nick Nolte was awesome in the movie, but like, I guess I've never seen a movie with Robert Redford really. But I'm like, this guy, sorry to his memory. I was like,
this guy sucks.
This guy's not a good actor. Like, what's the big deal? Like, he really was like super dry and like.
Yeah, I think he had a certain style that worked that way. I don't know. Maybe he's supposed to be dry. Was this A Walk in the Woods?
Yeah,
from 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is. At that point, yeah, he's lost some of his young, boyish charm. Oh, look at Nick Nolte there, boy.
Yeah. This is actually a real good tie-in to the topic, though, because it is a good like man friendship movie.
That's true. I was going to quote a song from Lagwagon, "Making Friends."
Well, quote away. Now you all have to stay to the end of the episode.
You should also listen to Lagwagon, although it's an acquired taste. You ever listen to Lagwagon?
I think I've heard some of their stuff, but
if you ever played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, everyone's heard one song, May 16th. There's May 11th. I never remember what the date is. It's a good song, though. They're like one of my favorite bands.
I can't remember what. Did you say Tony Hawk?
Yeah.
I remember playing one a ton, but I cannot. It had like a Primus song on it.
Yeah, I think I feel like maybe before that, it would have been. Maybe there was other. I feel like that Pro Skater 3 had Lagwagon, it had Millencolin on it, a whole bunch of punk bands on it. Maybe Primus was on it too, I think.
Maybe I was playing 2.
Maybe. No, I won't. We won't have time for that. This also ties into making friends. Today, Spacemen, because this is coming up for people periodically, and it's been a request again, is figuring out how do we make friends as adults.
And maybe when it's always been hard for you.
Well, that's true, yeah, especially if it's already a difficulty and was your whole life. And actually, this is something that I've been thinking about a ton, watching my daughter try and go and make friends in college. And Matt, you got a daughter in the same situation. And because we've talked about it before, I was just thinking, I want to make sure that I mention some things to look at in a different way so that it, not just like, here's some things to go do to make friends, but also some different ways of looking at this to give you a little more confidence in making friends. That's my teaser now that we're already partway in. But I forgot what I was just going to say about, growing up. I remember I used to have friends. I didn't have a lot of, like, my family was poor growing up. And so we got a Nintendo way after everybody else, it felt like, and a Super Nintendo way after everybody else.
Everybody was already moved on.
Yeah, they were already into whatever else. And so growing up, my friend, he had a Nintendo. He's playing Metroid. It's funny playing those games now. It's like, dude, I can beat this in like 25 minutes. But it's like you'd spend 8 hours and couldn't pass that level.
Dude, Super Mario 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I passed that in 20 minutes one time because it's like once you just use warp, then suddenly you're at the end and you just have to jump on the guy's head 3 times. Like,
we try and beat it every day during lunch because we went and did like community college and then came back to the high school for the last 2 periods. But yeah, we'd like come home, make a bunch of ramen.
If you could do it,
try and beat it in like
real fast.
Time we had.
But I was just thinking about, I always had friends who were always really good at Metroid and they'd play for like 30 minutes until they died. And then I get a turn and play like 3 minutes and then I'd die. Or I'd played Tekken or Tekken 2. Remember those games? It was like,
that sounds really familiar, but I can't.
They're like fighting games on PlayStation, like a Street Fighter type game.
Oh yeah.
And always my friend would just destroy me. And it felt like, what am I doing here, man? Why do you even hang out with me? I'm pathetic. So let's start with
old gaming systems.
Well, one of the things we've mentioned before, I always think about my old neighbor who told me, he's like, yeah, I joined a bowling league. I was like, oh, cool. Are you into bowling? He's like, no. I was like, why'd you join a bowling league? He's like, I just wanted to make friends. I don't know where else to make friends. And I felt a little bad. So I was like, yeah, I'm not that guy. You're a nice guy, but we're not going to be friends.
Like, I'm not that guy to make friends or what?
No, it just felt like we didn't have enough in common. That it was like, we went over to their house for a couple things a couple times, but it just didn't quite click. And this is something I've thought about since then. And what I'm thinking about today about how do I look at this differently, this making friends thing. But what's
my secret?
Go-to pro tip.
Oh,
that was also, you look so sad. Oh,
no, I'm like, I don't know that I have one, but I don't know that this is a pro tip, but it can be simultaneously really deflating and also normalizing. Like, we've talked about this number before, and I can't remember where I read it. Some article that was talking about studies that have shown like how much time you have to spend with somebody to become like a close friend. Like 200 hours, man. And so I think that everybody wants a close friend. I think it's also important to say like that takes a lot of time. So right now you probably just need like some companionship on a more regular basis. And like, who are you spending time with? Like, are you around people? and like, what are you doing, and what are the opportunities to put yourself out there into something where, like, whatever the activity is, or bowling league or whatever, like, there's the opportunity to put yourself out there a little bit more and like start to create some memories with people, and then that can turn into like, hey, remember that time, and then some inside jokes, and then like maybe you get more comfortable and you start asking about more stuff in their life, and it kind of unfolds over a long period of time.
That's funny. Because watching my daughter, like, she's got this, it's like, well, I talked to this person, I got their number, and it's like, hey, now do something with that. Like, you gotta start building this, like, and I've told her it's a slow build. I didn't say 200 hours. I don't think I remember when we talked about that, but I was like, because I feel like, it is a little.
So me and Mike are just barely friends now, because this is episode 208. Like how he was like, outside of the show.
Makes it sound like we're just faking it on these shows. I was like watching my daughter, I was thinking, oh, I don't know. Because I have friends that I'm friends with. I do think there are some people that you will click with much faster.
Yeah.
But I actually think that's more rare. Like, I think it's kind of like dating. It's like we wait for like the one. It's like that doesn't usually happen.
And you can snuff out the flame real quick if you know what I mean? Like when you connect with somebody really fast, if you just like cling and they're like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my daughter's watching her go through all this friend stuff. And actually this is happening to my son too, because my kids are both, well, all three of my kids actually are the kind of kids that like other kids feel safe with. And so they will attract the strange kids. Like, because they feel like, hey, this person's nice to me, they'll talk to me. And my kids are like, they'll talk to them and they feel safe with them. And so, sometimes I think my daughter feels like, well, yeah, there's this one person, but they're kind of like needy on me. Yeah, there's a balance to be struck, because we want to go all the way. If you're like me, like I always want a wingman. Like I always wanted to feel like I had somebody in my pocket if I needed somebody. And so I will sometimes want to jump all the way to that and make it that immediately.
Yeah.
And then it does
And then
turn
you
into.
tell them that. Got you in my pocket. I'm gonna keep you there for when you're convenient for me.
There's a little turd in my pocket. I take out when I need it. It is. Well, on an interesting side note, I have wondered that before, and I actually had this conversation with somebody, because I think I have that potential in me.
What, to like pocket people?
To like use somebody. Like never maliciously. Like I also recognize they also want friends, and there's a friendship there. But I can see that I have the potential of like, I just need it for me. So come be in my pocket and I'll use you when I need you. It is kind of, I never thought of that of the element of like 200 hours. And thinking, oh, maybe I'm making them jump all the way to that fast. I mean, a lot of these people that I'm talking about, these were people that I could say, like in grad school, we spent all day, every day together. So we had 200 hours by like 6 months, like you're going through all the same stuff. There's tons of overlap. So I don't actually think I force anything, and I don't usually get needy. In fact, I'm sometimes the opposite. I'll go the other direction, where it's like I will keep people at a distance.
Yeah.
But I do one time at the end of my mission, like you just get so used to always having somebody with you. And we were in this place before you leave the Philippines. All the missionaries go to this one, like, kind of like, let's make sure your papers are in order before we fly you home for 3 days. And me and a dude from my mission, we were there together. And at some point we were like, I don't know where we were, at some part of this house. And he goes, you don't have to go everywhere with me. I was like, well,
now I'm gonna go nowhere without you.
Like, I guess I'll go over to my bed and I'm like an idiot. He's still a good friend now. I feel bad. He called me on my birthday and I never responded.
You don't have to call me every birthday, man.
he's a good friend. I'm not.
I do think that 200-hour thing sounds like a lot, but when you're kind of like that post we were reading before, when you're a kid, like you rack that up just by being in the same class as somebody.
Yeah.
And
you walk home from school because your parents made you walk home from school.
There's like all this time around your peers. And I think that's probably the harder part. As adults, it's like 200 hours, even if you're hanging out with somebody once a week for an hour, that's like almost 4 years. So I don't.
Even that's go ahead. It's hard to make traction on once a week for an hour.
Yeah,
it's like just when you get into it, it's like, okay, see you in a week. That's not what happened.
Yeah, no, and I think that there's. I would want to look at that study too, because sometimes these studies are like, it takes 200 hours, and you think like, oh man, they like tested this out and put people together and followed them for 4 years and asked if they were close friends afterwards. But it's usually like, hey, who are your close friends? How long have you known them? Okay, it's about 200 hours. Okay, takes about that. I was like, how do you know they that long?
Yeah.
What if they were good friends before? But I do think remember that, maybe it was when we talked about this before. There's that dude from, actually I don't know if he's still alive.
Robert Redford. Nick Nolte.
Where is he at? He's some university in California. His wife is the one that wrote the book about like highly sensitive people, and but he has this like 36 question thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like you can get really close to somebody in like an hour
by going through these questions.
Yeah. So I do think that there's situations where people go through like traumatic stuff, and it's like, whoa, like I know you really well now, versus people that are maybe just doing something super surface level for a long time.
But I guess because I look at this and I think about, I mean, in my head, one of the tips that I have is like, in addition to like going and playing pickleball and scheduling like, hey, let's go hang out, doing work together. I think that's the trauma you go through is like, I think about where I feel like I probably got close to you. And maybe, I don't think it happened before this, but was when we started working together on the grant. We spent tons of time.
Yeah,
we spent tons of time together.
200 hours getting big drinks and throwing darts.
Getting a drink at a pub, which I feel like, I mean, obviously we were doing fun stuff, but we also, like, I remember when we went to see Avatar on one of our trips, and I came out, I was like,
you're like, what'd you think? I was like, it blew. And you were like, okay, good.
Friends. I thought you were way into it. I was like, this is so stupid. I can't.
No, I hate all this. Like, my least favorite, I know they have to do it because it's a movie, but my least favorite thing about any sort of like movie that has like combat in it or fighting is like the stupid witty or just like really stupid lines like mid fight, when really everybody's going to be like that dude on the reel you showed me almost getting hit by the sun. Like, those are the noises. We were watching some comedian talking about that with like the Civil War. It's like, well, you licked us today, but we're gonna get you tomorrow. It's like they probably were like, whoa!
So, what? Did you show it to me?
Yeah.
It's like, who says that? Tip of the hat to you. See you tomorrow. It's those things always make me like, oh my gosh. Like if somebody actually said that on the battlefield, the dude next to me like, what did you just say, man? I don't so I don't like sorry, that goes back to this idea of like, I do think it's helpful to like actually, and I think this is another helpful non-normal, like instead of inviting somebody over to play cards, which you can do, you invite them over to like, hey, I need help painting my kitchen. Can you come over and help me paint my kitchen? Because you're asking them for help, which kind of opens up like, I'm open to a different kind of relationship. And you're also going to engage in work, which is like, you shoot the breeze because you're doing something else and you talk about stuff, and stuff opens up a little easier because the pressure isn't on talking.
Yeah.
Like it was also like I think I mentioned this a while back. I had to tear down this giant playscape in my backyard because it was like a rat nest and two different beehives we found in there. And Um, and it took forever. And then trying to load it all to take it to the dump because I didn't want to do a dumpster because I read about how as soon as you have a dumpster in your front yard, everyone in the neighborhood's like, "Whoop, free dump!" And then just start suddenly there's a toilet in there and
dead body in there. Oh man!
So like I loaded up a U-Haul. I rented a U-Haul and shoved it full of old wood and rubber mulch.
You guys have like an actual landfill you can go dump that stuff at?
Yeah, you do too. I mean, it doesn't ever. I've driven past one in Houston.
There's landfills.
You can go dump.
Not that I know of, man.
What?
Like I've tried to recycle stuff. I've tried to like go dump
We have
stuff.
a recycling center that's separate.
Yeah, like they're surprisingly hard to find in Houston, and even the ones I found, it's kind of like they're all like privately owned, and so it's kind of like maybe they just contract with the waste management companies. They don't let people come in. I don't know. It's really hard. Like
I just went to we just took it to the dump, and you drive in and they weigh you.
Yeah, we used to do that growing up. I remember we had one too, but
I got super paranoid because I was like, dude, I'm in a U-Haul. What if I get a flat up here? Because I saw a dude next to me. Who got a flat. And I was like, well, how do you fix a flat in a freaking dump? Like,
and a U-Haul too.
Yeah. But anyway, especially because I was like, U-Haul would be like, that's not what you're allowed to use this for. But when I called all these, like I called like 4 or 5 or 6 people, and I was like, I think maybe it was only ones I called, but I had 4 dudes come out. And it was just kind of like made me feel like, oh, I do have friends. Like it changed my perspective by asking them, and they showed up. Felt like, oh, maybe we're better friends than I think we are.
Yeah,
which is actually one of my kind of pro tips is recognizing we've talked about many times, most men want friends. And they just don't like.
They'll even give free labor to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if someone comes and paints my house with me, I'm like, dude, I'm buying you dinner.
Yeah.
But I've always preferred a buffer. Like with somebody I don't know very well, it's like, well, then give me a third person here so that we can bounce off of each other. But I think keeping in your brain, maybe you're the one who's needed. Like I watched my daughter do this with her roommate. She's like, Dad, she seems kind of nervous. Do you think I said, yeah, she's for sure nervous. Like, she's like, do you think I need to maybe help her open up more? I was like, yeah. And as soon as she did, my daughter turned on her friendship charm. And it was like, they started talking and they've kind of gotten much closer, much faster because they're going through a shared difficulty together. But I feel like the expectation of let's get together and be friends is like, how do we do that?
Yeah.
But just saying, well, come do this thing with me.
Yeah. Instead of making it about the relationship, it's the thing you're doing.
Yeah. And there's a certain confidence in saying, hey, I need your help. Can you come help me out? You also have to assume you're not an idiot. Like you can't walk around feeling like something's wrong with me. Like even if somebody says I've always struggled to make friends, I tend to think, okay, well, how come? Like, in what way are you getting in your head? Maybe they're not, but most people I meet when they say I've struggled with something like that, I think you're thinking too much. Like you're getting too caught up thinking, are they thinking this or what if this or this, instead of taking an active interest in the other person and asking them questions. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a good way to get out of your head that way. I was telling my daughter this too. It's like over time, for me anyway, it's felt like not like in a mean way, but I'm like, I kind of don't care if you don't want to hang out with me because I want to hang out with you, and so I'm just gonna focus on what I want to.
Yeah, I enjoy your company.
What I want to get out of this almost, and so I guess if you don't want to hang out with me or you don't like me, you'll tell me. But
yeah, which would suck.
I'm just gonna think about because really, like you're saying, when you get out of your head, like most people when they are being themselves, like they're confident, they're not performing in the moment that stresses them out, and then like most people are pretty likable when they're themselves. And I think it's all the overthinking and performing and getting in your own head that causes you to do stuff that might not land. Because when you're around somebody who can't be themselves, like you can't either.
Yeah, it feels awkward.
But if somebody's just like, I just want to be here, right? Then most people will feed off of that. But yeah, I do think that and that ties into, another topic we've done about men asking for help. If you just, because as soon as you said that, like, hey, come, I need some help doing this, right? Like I've asked several guys to help carry something or move something but yeah, it is like, you just think, oh man, I'm putting that guy out. But it always ends in even just a brief little conversation like, hey man, how are things going for you? And
yeah. Plus they probably feel like, oh, nice of you to think of me.
Yeah.
To come help you.
Yeah. And then you can be the guy that they call later. But yeah, thinking of times that we've done like hurricane stuff too, people that just got kind of thrown together. Like those long drives and, just working and suffering together in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Like you have a lot to talk about and you kind of get out of your shell. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, like the volunteering opportunities could be another go-to.
Yeah, I guess I wonder though, because the getting out of your head thing, that was the thing I thought most of it's like, maybe it's less about, most people know, like, well, I just need to decide, hey, I'm doing a poker night, or I'm doing
I want to do this, so I'm going to
yeah,
invite.
I'm gonna invite people to do this. In order to do that, even you'd have to first, like I say it this way, to me, it's just a mind game of saying like, well, other people are lonely and want somebody to invite them to do something.
Yeah.
You have to not just believe, but like know that is the case. There are, we've talked about on this show, there's tons of lonely dudes. So you'd have to know, like, people want to do stuff, and if they don't come, it could be because they're a little too nervous to do it. It's not because there's something wrong with me. But I think you're right. Maybe this is what I'm wondering about is like, what's the tip to like pull out of your head so that you're not so like, well, I mean, I don't know if they really like me, or if they're just humoring me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a tip?
I don't know that I have a tip, but I'll say this. Well, because I think a tip, sure. It's always like that sounds great. How do I get myself to do that? It's always like the how to that I think
Yeah, I
kind of struggle with, because like
I always struggle to give that answer.
yeah, I think the tip is like, well, at least one is like you're thinking about the wrong things, the wrong question. Because like you said, that's probably not the reason they would say no anyway.
Right.
Like it's not for some people that have kind of deeply held values to not be selfish. This can work where you're like, why do you think it's all about you, basically, right? Like that person's probably not thinking about you. Really, they're probably thinking more about themselves, right? And like, sure, if there's somebody who doesn't want to hang out with you, you'll find out and then don't hang out with them. Like that's not the person that you want to hang out with anyway,
Doesn't
right?
mean you suck.
Yeah. But I think it's like, well, that's going to hurt. I'm going to feel rejected. I'm going to feel stupid, right? And so that question kind of stands in service of protecting me from experiencing all of that. And I think, generally speaking, we just have to get better at like feeling crap. It's uncomfortable to do that, but or not being afraid of it.
Yeah.
Right. Like just going and saying, I want to do this, and just like anything. Like the friend I was telling you about, that like this pickleball thing kind of organically started with, him wanting to hang out with some people, me having a free night, us going to Chicken and Pickle, and then it going from there to like a weekly thing that, like I said, sadly, I have not been like super good at going to now, but still going. And like there's a group of guys that consistently go, and there's been some weird stuff that's happened. So there's like cool stories. I'll tell you about those later. But yeah, there, I think that once you start something, if you also think like, yeah, of course it's not going to work this first time. People probably will say no.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's probably not going to catch, going back to like that 200-hour thing. Like it's probably not going to catch till like the 5th time I invite people. And in the meantime, I need to tell myself that story. It's not catching because it's like a new thing. People are busy, and like the crowdedness of their lives is going to push anything new out the first 3 or 4 times I ask anyway. But I don't have to be annoying about it, right? But I just have to keep persisting. If I'm the one initiating, right? And I know that does take a special type of person in a way
to initiate,
to be the one that's like spearheading everything, right? And so I think that if you're on the receiving end of that, maybe another tip is like say what's actually happening, right?
What do you mean?
I think as men we typically would just be like, "No, dude, sorry."
Oh yeah.
Instead of like, "No, man, actually, I really want to do that. I've just got this tonight, but like, keep asking me because like I'll be able to at some point. Don't like keep me on your list, right? Like, elaborate a little bit more on what's actually going on because I think that helps it feel like okay, so this really is just something we're trying to get going, right? Like that pickleball thing. There was this one guy that shared later. He was like, "I've only gone like one time, but I never told you this to the guy, but like just getting your invites like pulled me out of a slump more than once."
Yeah.
And I didn't even respond. But
Right.
just knowing someone was inviting me to do something, I was like, cool. I'm not a loser.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
That's actually why when I say like when you ask somebody for help, you're actually doing that person a favor.
Yeah.
Because it makes them feel like, oh, I'm the kind of person that they feel like they could count on. So if it's like, oh, cool. I like that. So I do think that part matters. And I was going to say, I don't know if it takes a special person to be the instigator. I think there are people out there who will constantly plan and do new things. But I think kind of like what you're saying, it's like, look, if you want to do it, then just
you can
put
be
it
that
out.
person.
Yeah,
yeah.
You may not be the one who's always doing it, and it's like, oh, he always throws parties. Like my friend Kevin, he's always instigating something.
Yeah.
And often I can't go to things I've gone with him before. He's the one I went to the meat fest thing, the barbecue fest.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't go this last time, which I was bummed out about. And he actually invited me for like next week, and I can't go then either, to go to Snow's barbecue. You know that place? It's like, is that the one that's like a
lady?
female master? Yeah.
The one that just puts her hand next to the fire.
It's and
87.5 degrees.
Yeah, and it's like he's like, I'm gonna leave at 5 a.m. He's like, last time I left at 7. He's like, and you gotta wait. He's like, you're waiting for hours to get food.
He got it when he left at 7?
I think I can't remember if he said they ran out by the time he got there. So that's why he's leaving at 5.
Side note. Do you think it's going to be that amazing?
Like, admittedly,
but I think it's the friendship thing we're talking about. But
it's to go hang out.
I'm always curious. Like, is it really?
Yeah, I like that. I can say I've had, like, he eats more barbecue than anybody I've ever met. But because of that barbecue fest thing, I can say, like, I've had tons of barbecue from places all over the state, like famous historical places that everyone references. That it's like, I've had that barbecue. It's not very good. People are like, you go for the sides. I'm like, they're mediocre. Like. But no, I don't even. I've never had Franklin's barbecue here. It's like wait for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I don't think it's going to be that good.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mike's friend, Joe, makes the best brisket I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. On an offset or on a pellet or what?
I think it's an offset. I think he does. I think he's got one of those huge trailer.
Oh yeah.
Because he'll do multiple at once.
Mm-hmm.
He has a little side business, and it's freaking good. My second favorite brisket is my brisket, which I think is, like, I'm pretty picky, and I'm not saying I'm really good. It's just it's really good. I really enjoy it. Like, so I feel like, how much better is it? Like, is it wait in line for 4 hours better?
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine it's so much better.
Yeah.
But I get the idea of the experience of Franklin's and the experience of Snow's. Like, I get that, but no, it's not gonna be that good.
Fasting all morning and
Because in the end, and this is my issue. That's why some of these places I went to with apparently we're done talking about friendship. I don't know, but these barbecue places, every time I go to one, I'm like, look, your menu looks exactly the same as everybody else's. There are a few places that don't do the same thing. That's why I like Slab here, because it's a pork base, which is not a very Texas-y thing to do. They have brisket too, but they have a lot of pork, and it's a little more Carolina style. And they had really good nachos. But that's what I loved about Liberty. That was right here, because they had those trash fries. And if I can get brisket and fries, I don't want brisket and potato salad. I don't care how good your potato salad is; it's still potato salad. Like, my wife loves Rudy's potato salad. I'm like, it's potato salad. It's potatoes and mayonnaise and mustard.
Anybody wants to be friends with Rob, invite him over for a big bowl of potato salad.
I'll be like, this is the best potato salad I've ever had.
Because you needed to hear that, not me.
My wife's is the best I've ever had, because she'll use sour cream instead. So I'm like, there. That's what you should put on. No one puts mayonnaise on a potato. That's disgusting. All right, so
you were talking about.
Just my friend, just inviting you. I think anyone can be an instigator. He is a natural instigator. But I think I want to discourage that thinking, because it's like, well, I'm not an instigator. It's like, then be one. Like, if you want to be, if you want to do this thing, then do it. And actually, your point's really good. It's like, it will be uncomfortable. That's fine. That's how you make this not uncomfortable. I'm watching my daughter do it. She's not an instigator, and she's doing it over and over and over again. I think the more you do this, the less impact it will. Like, it won't feel so monumental every time.
Yeah, and I think that this might be a weird tie-in. So stay with me, Face. Stay with me. I almost said Face Man. Do you remember, like, I can't remember what episode this was. We talked about this book that is, I think it's called like Men Behaving Badly. And it's
a TV show.
It's like what do you call it? An evolutionary biologist take on, like, why do guys do horrible things? He's very clear at the beginning, like, look, I am not saying that any of this is good for humanity, right? But here is maybe a biological basis, maybe just to give it a different understanding while not condoning any of it, right? But he said that, like, there have been studies of how men dramatically overestimate, like, their attractiveness, their, like, mateability, whatever you want to call it, because men have to face so much rejection, or they have had to historically in, like, mate selection. So, like, we've got that built into us. Like, we can probably face a lot more rejection than we think. But, you know, if, like, just to tie it into, like, herd animals, not that elk can have thoughts like this, but I seriously doubt the elk who doesn't win the fight is like, oh man, none of those ladies liked me. It was just like, that guy, like, so I think that if we look at it like, you know, what's the story you're telling yourself about? Not even, maybe you don't even call it rejection, but like something that doesn't land. I invite somebody and they can't go, right? Or, you know, I persist and I keep trying to get this started and no one shows up. Or I'm the one always instigating, right? No one else points stuff. Like, that is frustrating. But again, maybe we have a lot more capacity than we think to kind of move through obstacles and rejection. The point this guy was making was about bad behavior, right? But like, but I think that, yeah, we probably have much more capacity for it, and we can put ourselves out there more, and I think maybe having like a structured way to do that, maybe at some point we'll just generate like a list of like, hey, invite your friends to do this, start this, like, you know, just like a list of ideas of things to do. There's like 1,000,001 things you can invite people to do, and you know, even if it's just like we could probably just spout off 5 right here. So maybe let's just do that instead of promising to generate a list that we're not going to generate.
That's it. So you could like invite someone to do?
Yeah, like Okay, go ahead. Let's go back and forth. We'll put a little pickleball.
One of the first things I thought was actually inviting myself to have somebody teach me woodworking. Like, hey, can you show me how to do this?
Perfect.
Like, I've wanted to get into this. Can you show me how you do that?
Well, you just went.
I went all the way.
Better direction than I was.
That's where we're gonna go.
I was just going to invite somebody to do something, but that ties into what you're saying before, where it's like, I see that you're good at this, and
teach me.
That would be an easy thing for you to join me in because you already know what you're doing,
and it makes you feel good that you're going to teach me something. I'll supply the supplies. Tell me what I need to buy, and I want to build this thing.
Yeah.
I also think actually, and this, I'm going to go again. So this is the pick. I just aced you, and now here's my second serve. Do you ace in pickleball? I don't know.
There's weird terms. It's probably
like I sausage you. I don't know, the kitchen. So this is something that you did for a while. I don't think you instigated it, but there was that book club.
Oh, that was I barely squeaked in on that one.
Highbrow book club or whatever. Yeah. Like I've wanted for a long time to start a movie club.
Yeah.
Mike and I have talked about it. We've never done it. One of the reasons I've never done it, that one, it gets weird because it's like, there's some people who are like, I don't watch that kind of movie, or, like, I don't watch rated R movies, or, so it's like, okay.
Yeah. We'll put on a G movie in the back bedroom for you.
But we still want you here.
Bring you a popsicle.
But those are two off the top of my head.
Well, you took mine.
Oh.
But no, I was going to say, no.
I think the book club is an awesome
idea. The movie thing, right? Yeah. Like, I think several times somebody, like I've invited before, but just, hey, this movie's coming out. And the hard part is what we're assuming here is like, these are all guys that know guys.
Right.
So maybe there's like two lists, but for that, like just asking to go do something, a movie, like pickleball, like I think that's kind of more what I was thinking of in terms of quick ideas is like, what are some things you could invite guys to go do? Go out to eat, like go work out, right? Like let's go like running together, or like right now I do the rucking a couple times a week with one of my friends. And so like anything like that is just like, hey, we're doing this thing. Who wants to come? The guys maybe who don't know guys. Like I've found some really good stuff and it depends on where you live, right? But like Meetup and some other websites like that, where it's like the hard part is you got to just go in and you got to,
that's the part where you're talking about. Sometimes you just have to go through the awkward, painful part. It's like, you just walk in.
Yeah. And you've probably, if you haven't had friends or you haven't done stuff with people in a long time, I was just listening to this book that was real disappointing. Like I listened to a podcast with this lady and I was like, the title made it sound like you were going to have some really cool stuff to say. And then I checked out the book. But anyway, all that aside, like she talks about like the actual changes in your brain when you go through a process of telling yourself basically like that no one likes me.
Mm-hmm.
And like how specific parts of your brain start to like atrophy. And you don't even have to necessarily have the experience of
the rejection
connecting. To like grow those parts of your brain just by like starting to
just by reaching out,
visualize it and tell yourself a different story and like putting yourself out there and like resisting that thought of like, this is what this means, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. Right. So I think that if you are a guy like that, like just, you probably have people around you, if you really think, where you could start. And, it'll be a little bit awkward, but even if it's just like a coworker, right? Or somebody you barely know, like acquaintances can become closer. But if you're telling yourself like, I got nobody, right? You probably do. You're probably just not, you're probably in that really limited brain space of saying, I'm stuck and I'm never going to have any, and I don't even want to talk about this because I feel like a loser, right? Well, getting beyond that, I think is the best starting place. But
yeah, that's why I mentioned that part earlier of like, you have to move past this place where you think you're the anomaly. Like everyone is friends. It's almost a high school mentality. It's like, well, those are the cool kids. It's like, there are no cool kids anymore. I don't know if there ever really was, we decided that, I guess, in high school, but there aren't any anymore. Like there are just a whole bunch of lonely dudes.
Yeah.
they're all like,
they're all numbing themselves. That's the other thing, right? It's like, I think probably the more likely thing is like, I don't want to put pants on. I'm watching something or I'm scrolling on my phone, but like, it's probably more that than like, if you were this guy, I would have said yes, but it's
I
don't think
well, and not even, it's not even just I don't want to put pants on. It's like, man, that's gonna be a lot of effort, like to put pants on, but also to just go engage socially.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and knowing that if someone else is rejecting you, quote unquote, they may also be going through the same thing in their head of like, no, I mean, that's a cool group. I don't, like, I wouldn't have anything to talk about with them. It's like, oh, that's why you watch a movie, like you break it down afterwards or what?
Yeah. Maybe that's another good idea, or just like general theme, right? Like maybe pick some stuff that doesn't require a whole lot of
huge interaction at first,
back and forth talking, but something that you can like have joint attention with, like a movie or like painting your kitchen or whatever, and you can talk about that neutral third thing.
I mean, I feel like we've just nailed it again.
Pretty better have friends by the next episode.
We should start doing some sort of local meetups. That's what the rucksack people do, the Go Ruck stuff. They do those meetups. This is like, well, go ruck with people around you.
Yeah.
And there's that lady who wears her cross strap in just the wrong place. And I'm like, you can raise or lower that, right?
Wait, you see him walking?
No, I just saw it was on the rucksack website. No, but I have seen these things lately about everyone wearing weighted vests.
That's like in my neighborhood, it's like blown up. I told you about that guy across the street from me. Here's a little plug for rucking, guys. Another little friendship tip. I like normally when I go, it's like, early in the morning, so I see people, but everybody's like, no one wants to talk. But there were 2 Saturdays where I went later, and I have a neighbor that lives across from me. So we've been there since 2013. And the only thing I know about this guy is that I'm pretty sure he avoids, I think his wife avoids him, but I think he's avoiding her too. He comes out Saturdays, plays classic rock on a boombox, and sits with no shirt on in the sun reading novels.
What?
I don't know. I'm assuming they're novels. No, he's just like sitting out there. I think he works in a plant. He always comes home in a coverall, so maybe he doesn't get to see the sun much. I don't know, but that's all I know about him. I've waved at him. Like, I don't think I'd ever heard the guy say a word, except for one time he came home really mad and was like, like going into his house, and I was like, okay. And like nobody on my street knows him. Like, oh yeah, I don't know that couple. So, but I'm walking with my rucksack on, and he's like, all of a sudden he's out there walking. I'm like, whoa, it's the guy across the street. He's like, hey, what is that thing you're carrying there? And I was like, well, hey, friend,
is this happening?
Start talking to him, and he's like, yeah, I've been thinking about doing that. And I was telling him, like, don't do what I did. I bought like this super expensive thing that's super uncomfortable. And but yeah, I just got like a bag off of Amazon after that and got like a different weight plate that was super cheap. But so I was telling him about it, and like super good interaction. And then another Saturday, this one cracks me up. I'm like crossing the street, and this guy that's turning stops, rolls down his window. He's like, hey man, what are you doing there? You training for a hunt? Like, no, I'm just rucking. He's like, oh man, well, looks awesome. Good luck, man. Just drove away. I'm like, but it's just like you've had those experiences where you're doing something that for whatever reason gets the attention of other dudes, and everybody's like, hey, what is that?
Yeah.
They come and like, want to talk to you about it. So I think sometimes just getting involved in stuff naturally leads to conversations, and it's that third party thing. I can talk to you because you're doing that thing, instead of, hey, you're my neighbor, I've never talked to you,
so should we talk?
Name? I still don't know his name.
Yeah, but you talk
about
I know
rucking. He's in rucksacks.
Now I gotta go buy a new rucksack. Whatever, it's fine.
Do you still have the Go Ruck?
Yep, I have 2. I have one that's just the weight plate, the plate carrier, and then I have one that is an actual like backpack, and it's very well made. It's just not the most comfortable thing. Like it's very durable.
I stopped because it is so uncomfortable.
I need to look into.
I mean, yeah, it'll last through like the apocalypse, but it's like
I'm not doing
tears
that.
into my shoulders.
I'm gonna find a better, more comfortable one. Anyway, well, Spacemen, we've done it again.
I think this is where we need to cue like some sort of 80s like lesson learned sitcom music.
I could cue this music. See?
There's a chord that I saw on a reel, like guitar chord. They were like, I think they just said like, what 80s show instantly comes to mind? Like what part of an 80s show instantly comes to mind? It's like this weird chord. I'm not doing it right.
But, like, I don't know.
But they're like, oh, DJ Tanner's getting a talking to.
Well then, take our tips. Get out of your head. Go initiate something. Go
into my car.
My dream, get in the backseat, baby. And then come back next time and catch us on the Manspace. DJ?